We're at the Princeton train depot in Gibson County. It's the last train depot in Gibson County, I think. We're taking you to Vincennes. Got a couple of stops we want to make there and a couple of others along the way.
We are excited. It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. There's no clouds in the sky right now. Come with us.
We're Jim and Vanessa. Thanks for taking the off-ramp to adventure.
So do you know why they stopped having passengers in the 1960s?
Yes, once the transportation and the commerce just kind of ended, railroad was just bringing all that in. And in the 60s, it was being brought in by trucks and overseas. So what ended up is that it closed, and then it stopped all passenger travel completely.
Yeah, trucking started taking a big part of everything. Think about it. The river trade died out to the trains. Trains kind of lost out to the trucks. Now we've got
planes,
trains, and automobiles.
The plane.
This is kind of fun to know this is an old-timey railroad crossing, sitting here with no railroad track. Actually, the railroad track is running that way, and it's going that way. So, yeah.
That is so bizarre. So we're standing here, the train coming this way, the railroad's coming there, ends at that road. And that's where the train sign is, right?
Yeah.
And here.
Then I think they just planted that one there evidently.
Oh, and you know what that is? That's just a piece of it that
yeah,
they put
that's
for
just
display.
decoration, so
okay.
they could set that wonderful caboose on it.
But look at this. This is really cool. Oh, it keeps going. I thought it ended right here.
No.
Oh, so you think they're still using it?
Probably still using it. They just don't use the depot anymore, I think.
Well, I just thought it ended with the depot.
Well,
sorry about that.
I mean, that's what they made you think, right? We thought, while we're in Princeton, might as well check out downtown. And of course we come down to get some of this architecture, and they've got some kind of something going on down here that's got it all blocked off.
It's Relay for Life.
It's Relay for Life, okay, that's a worthy cause. A lot of the downtowns look a lot alike, but they all got their own character somehow.
That building over there is 1893.
Looks old.
It does, but it's not as old as some of them.
Well, we can't call it old, we can call it historic.
It is historic.
Okay, well, you've got the Relay for Life going on downtown, so it's going to be hard to say anything much about the downtown outside of it looks awesome without interrupting the Relay for Life. That used to be a national bank. How classic is that? And that is sheer magic. That's a great thing about small towns. They come together to help each other. Of course, Relay for Life is for cancer, and nobody likes cancer. We've had bouts of that in our family. It's really cool. The community, it's great. It's the Beatty building. Don't have a lot of details on this stuff, outside of the fact that they do tattoo and piercing in there now.
Yes, it is. Halloween is coming up. One of my very favorite ever times of the year.
In case you're wondering, that's where all the business is done, evidently, the business center. And this is where you invest your money. Looks like they've had some broken windows up there. Got that boarded up. I think there's supposed to be people walking around the square to raise money. I'm not sure what's going on. But I hope they're raising a lot of money. I like the chair.
What's that?
Look what Vanessa found. Are these old church pews, or what do you think?
Maybe. They look like pallets to me. They are. They're pallets.
Okay. There's an idea for pallets, guys.
There's an idea for our backyard.
You would go there. This is going to be one of the top 10 towns we come to.
Oh, yeah.
As far as cuteness goes,
Yeah.
it's adorable.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at this brickwork alone.
Oh, what a great old gas station. I bet that door to the side was the bathroom. What do you bet?
Probably.
To the right?
That's what you worry about.
Oh, look, there's another bay on the other side. Look at that.
Probably a bathroom.
What do you think?
Like it. Very nice town. Vincennes was founded by the French on the Wabash River back in 1732 as a fort to protect the fur trade from the British, and it's the oldest city in Indiana. In 1800, Congress named Vincennes the capital of the Indiana Territory. In 1806, Vincennes became Vincennes University, one of only 2 colleges established by a president.
Oh, there's Red up there.
Of course, making our way to Vincennes University, gotta stop by and see Red. What's sad about going to the Red Skelton Museum is we can't video inside. But we did get some pictures, so we'll share some stuff.
Oh my gosh, it brought back such memories.
Oh, it's great.
When we were kids and our parents would be watching Red Skelton and we're like, this is just crazy.
Loved Red. We got a magnet, so
We got a magnet.
not a total loss.
Comedian Red Skelton was born in Vincennes on July 18, 1913.
During his over 70-year career, he ruled the comedy stage, TV, and even movies with characters he created like Clem Diddlehopper, Freddie the Freeloader, Cauliflower McPug.
My favorites were Gertrude and Heathcliff.
Another one of my favorites is Deadeye. The Sheriff.
Even through his stress and health issues, he used his fame to further some awesome causes.
After his death in 1997, his wife donated his personal effects like costumes and props to Vincennes University, prompting Vincennes to make space for their native son on campus, where we are today.
We actually found out where he lived. He lived about 1 street over from here, a couple blocks down. Come with us.
A lot of you may not know who Red Skelton is, but for our generation, he was hilarious.
Wow, we were small back then.
Yeah, well, we kids, but he was funny. And if you haven't seen any of Red Skelton stuff, Google him real quick. You'll love it. And we'll wait till this video's over, but put your seatbelt on. So.
Yo. Okay, I'm good now.
There's the college, Vincennes, and literally right across the street is Red Skelton's house. This is fantastic shape. It's got a little wear and tear at the bottom of that post, but wow. Born here in 1913. As a teenager, performed locally in minstrel shows. By the 30s, he performed on vaudeville stages. Guy was huge.
They've been doing some renovation.
Yeah, it looks like they're having some roof problems,
Yeah.
maybe with the chimney.
Yeah, probably. But what do you think? It's probably got a living room, a couple bedrooms.
Oh yeah, that's got to be an entrance.
Yeah, there's an entrance.
There's
on
an
the other
entrance
side.
on each side of this style of house. Then that right there that sticks out, I think, is the kitchen. Kind of wonder which one was his bedroom, maybe upstairs. That looks like where Red might have stayed, and that kind of personality. We're on the grounds of Vincennes University, Indiana's first college, and we found something in Vincennes that we can video. They're like old pioneer homes. They have tours inside and out. Of course, we missed the tour times today.
We did.
But we can walk around outside, we figure. I guess there's nobody saying no. I've got to find out if these are actual old homes or just replicas. The glass looks real. Look at that. A wavy. It is. Can you see that? The waves in the glass. The glass looks original. You've got some info, right?
I do. I'm hoping that
Hoping?
I can get information on all of these buildings.
We got one.
So this building was built in 1805 as a tailor shop, and it was really actually called the Red House. Very fitting.
Wonder what's inside the Red House. Got a table, chair, bench.
It's the oldest original building of the government in the Midwest. And so after all of that, and after it changed from a tailor's house to a government building, this is where, after the Battle of Tippecanoe,
And Tyler too?
And I don't know much more than that about that battle, but this is where they actually met, right after the Battle of Tippecanoe.
We know this one. It's the printer Elihu Stout, printer to the Indiana Territory. You know, he had a job. He actually printed the laws of the Indiana Territory, right?
Yes. The print shop by Mr. Stout actually sits next door to the Red House, which is the Capitol building that was taking care of all the legislation. So the governor said, hey, Mr. Stout, I need you to come here and build a printing shop because we got a lot of legislation that has to be printed. So he did. And then it caught fire. They rebuilt it exactly the way it was. And he actually printed a newspaper out of this for a long time.
I just caught sight of this. Wow. This, according to the sign I just found, is called Grouseland, the home of William Henry Harrison, built in 1803. In front of the William Henry Harrison house are these big metal things. They're millstones. Something else interesting we just found out, these great grand houses we've been showing you have modern day restrooms. So, yeah. We found this bridge that took us over the Wabash River and we thought, wow, what a nice shot of Indiana. It was at this point we realized we may have overshot Vincennes.
We decided to go back to Indiana.
All right, there it is. We traveled 20 minutes to try to get a picture of it.
Yeah, but I don't quite know what it is. I haven't looked it up.
All I can read is Revolution. Something of the American Revolution. It looks cool, whatever it is.
I know, especially the front.
Give them a scale. Just keep walking to see how big this building is.
All right.
Building is huge. Oh, man. Got a tie me shoe. Love, could you hold the camera while I tie me shoe?
Yes.
This is going to be, well, what is it, documented for posterity? Jim tying his shoe.
Left across,
And
right under, make a bow.
Something about the rabbit going in the hole or something. That's what Mom said. I don't know. Egad, it's huge. Is that timing or what?
I just love church bells.
That's such a beautiful church too. Look at it juxtaposed to this street light. That is awesome.
We have to say, we didn't know much about the George Rogers Clark Memorial.
With just a little research and reading the posted signs, we discovered this was the George Rogers Clark Memorial. He was an American colonel during the Revolutionary War. Vanessa's doing her cinematography over there.
Can you go in it?
I don't know. We're going to find out.
Yeah, you can't carry a gun in there though, so.
Well, we're not.
We're not gun carriers. Oh my gosh, look at this gate. Oh, it has something to do
What is
with
it?
the Native Americans. I do know that.
Okay.
Look at that.
That is nice bronze. It's evidently open sometime to go inside. Look, corn. Can you see it?
It is.
Intricate sculptures.
I have no idea what's in
Bronze?
there.
Makes you wonder what's in there, doesn't it?
I know.
What could be lurking behind those doors they don't want us to see after hours? Wow. Huge. You're probably wondering what George Rogers Clark did to deserve this huge monument.
His army, helped by French residents of the Illinois country, had marched through freezing floodwaters to defend Fort Sackville and defeat the British in 1779.
The fort's capture assured United States claims to the frontier, an area nearly as large as the original 13 states. So is it worth the 5-hour drive?
It really is. The problem is it's about 6:30 right now. We got a long ride home.
What's really crazy is this town's only like an hour and a half from the house, but we took the long way because we're trying to find some classic, historic Kentucky and Indiana stuff, and found some. And now, even though it took us 5 hours to get here, we can be home in an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's okay. You see this right here? This is what's left of what's called the Memorial Bridge Approach. Years ago, 1932, they built this bridge to commemorate building the other big building behind us. And after like 90 years, it started just falling apart. They're going to reconstruct it, from what I'm understanding from this thing I'm reading right here, if I'll read correctly. If you see right there, you can see where the stairs were. You see some stairs still here, but 90 years of rot, got to get some fixing going on.
And there they are again. What is it about church bells and trains?
I think today it was saying, okay, you're here, time starts, now we're done, time's over, go home. By the way, Mr. Harrison did become president.